Hi, Facebook. Hi, Instagram. Hello, everyone. Hi. Happy Sunday to you all. I'm so excited to be going live today. And I hope that you guys all are getting ready to start your week in a positive way. Let's see. Am I live on Facebook yet? Come on, Facebook. Okay, good. Facebook is live and says Instagram. I always have to make sure because sometimes Facebook looks like it's delaying, but then it doesn't. Let me get a little cuter for you guys here. I'll put a little effort in my appearance. There you go. So I hope you guys are all having a great day. And actually, let me see. I don't think Facebook can see all of my head. There you go. So I hope you guys are all having a great, again, start to the week. Happy Sunday to you all. And I hope that you are out there doing something good for you. Right now, I'm drinking some energy fizz sticks from Arbonne, the health and wellness company I partner with. These are delicious. These are strawberry, and I just ordered these. Everybody has their particular flavor, and people fight over which flavor is best. My husband loves pomegranate. I love citrus, and we both agreed that we love strawberry. So here we go. So I'm drinking this. This is like a low caffeinated beverage that kind of, has healthier stuff in it for you. So if you're like me and just need a little pick me up in the day, it's really good stuff, and I like the taste of it. So now we both fight over that one. So in any event, I am Ayana, and I am your transformation health coach. And in case you don't know what that means, or if you're new to looking at this video, I am a health coach. I help people reach their health goals, whether it's losing weight or just wanting to get healthy. And really, folks come to me because they're stuck, because they feel like they've tried everything already, right? And they feel like they just can't get the results that they need, and they need a little extra help. Most of us need extra help. And the way that I support with that is that I help people transform the way they look at food, the way they look at exercise, and most importantly, the way that they look at their bodies and their selves, so that you can have motivation for life. It's an amazing therapeutic approach to, reaching your health goals, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's how I lost 50 pounds and kept it off. So I'm always obsessed with supporting people with that. Okay. So, and I love my clients. They're amazing. And they've been making so much progress, losing weight. It's phenomenal and awesome. So if you're interested in learning more about that, just definitely like the video, and I will reach out to you and let you know how to set up a free session with me so you can learn more. Now, also too, one of the things that I'm talking about today is I'm talking about one of my favorite topics, which is gratitude. Okay. Gratitude when it comes to reaching your health goals. And this is, again, I love talking about most of these topics, right? I think I say that every week. This is my favorite thing to talk about. But really, truly, mindset things are so important to me, because so often we try to reach our health goals. We're trying to do the right things. We're trying to eat foods that make us feel good. We're trying to move our bodies. But so often we struggle and we don't check our mindset. So this is something, by working on your mindset, when you do that, everything else falls into place. It's so much easier to stick to your habits. And gratitude is one of those important ones. And now Oprah has a really powerful quote that I fell in love with, and I actually used my printer ink. I never print things because I'm really cheap with my printer ink, but I used my printer ink to print it out and put it up in my room. And the quote is this. Okay, let me go to that tab there. So if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. Love, love, love. And I'm going to tell you in just a minute how that is related to our health goals and how we can use that, and different ways to increase the gratitude in your life. Because for me, gratitude is important for this reason. Well, actually, I'll go into the struggle that I had with it in 1 second. One other thing I just want to remind you of too is, whether or not you want to learn more about coaching, or, I have these different powerful clean eating programs going on, a 30-day to healthy living, where you can get support from a Facebook group. You can get my coaching support as well for an affordable price. Definitely let me know. All of the clients who've done it, they love it, and they've lost weight and they've got healthier. So definitely let me know. Oh, hey, Bliss. Okay, Bliss just reached out to me on Facebook. What did she say? Her techniques work. I'm seeing progress and understanding how to make it sustainable. Shifting your mindset is foundational. Yes! Thank you! Oh, that just makes my heart swell. Thank you so much, Bliss. So yes, absolutely. We don't always look, sadly, in our society, there's so many different things where, I can't remember who said this, but they were talking about money and sex. Oh, okay. Jen Sincero said this in her book, You're a Badass at Making Money. She said this about sex and money, but I think really health is one of those things too. We're not really instructed too much. Like we're not given a lot of resources on how to do a lot of these things on our own and how to have these habits on our own. But yet we're expected to know a lot about it. You know, we're expected to be experts and perform really well financially and sexually and health wise. But then we're not always given the tools for how to work through these things and figure out these habits on our own. So if you need help with that, most of us need help. Okay, 90 to 98% of people lose weight and gain it back within 6 months. So you don't want to be one of those people, okay? And I was that person for quite a while. So thank you for that, Love Bliss. So here's the struggle that I had around gratitude. You know, if you've watched my videos, you've probably heard me share before that I've gone through anxiety and depression in my life on multiple occasions. You know, that I was up and down. You know, I've been at points in life where I was suicidal. And certainly, you know, when you're in a place where you're going through, where you're feeling bad about yourself, you know, where you're dealing with insecurity issues, it's extremely, extremely difficult to get things done. And for me, you know, a lot of people ask me, they're like, well, how do you have this positive light? People who've known me for multiple years, they know. I was in a much darker place before that. And I definitely was somebody who felt like my life was just hopeless. You know, I was going through issues with, you know, caregiving for my mom. That was like the biggest thing. My mom had Huntington's disease. She passed away 2 years ago. And it was so hard because, you know, if you've ever been a caregiver for someone, it's extremely difficult. And Huntington's is like a combination of Parkinson's what's the one? And Alzheimer's, because there's physical movements and there's also like cognitive decline. And it was really, really difficult. And I went through this in my early 20s. I was also in an abusive relationship. I lost, you know, a man who meant a lot to me that I dated for a while. He was murdered. Just so many things were happening around the same time that it was kind of this crazy thing where I was like, you know what? I don't know what else I can do. Like, I just didn't feel as though I could carry on. And really, it wasn't that I didn't want to live or that I wanted to die. I just felt like I didn't know how my pain would end. Okay. And the thing that happened for me is that I started to scare myself, right? I started to scare myself with my thinking. And so eventually what I ended up doing was I ended up going and getting therapy. And that therapist changed my whole life and my whole outlook because it was the first time that I really felt agency over my mental health. For so long, you know, we know this logically, right? You know, like we know if we say, you know, we can all sit here and say, yes, you know, I have power of positive thinking and all of that. But if you don't really know how to do it, or if you're not sure of your own processes or how you're contributing to negative thinking or what's going on in your head, if you don't have an outside person to kind of call you out on your own thinking, it can be really hard to spot on your own. And that was the case for me. I didn't realize how, yeah, I was going through things that were traumatic, but I didn't realize how I was contributing to them. One of the things that I was doing is, you know, when something bad was happening, when something devastating was happening, I was further complicating the issue by creating shame for myself. So, you know, for example, when I was a caregiver to my mom, okay, like being a caregiver, that's an opportunity for a lot of like feeling bad about yourself, you know, getting into arguments with my mom and then feeling really bad and like, oh God, I'm a terrible daughter. So all of that, I didn't realize that I had all of this negative self-talk that was just taking an already, you know, sad or hard or difficult situation and just compounding it further. So when I discovered that, when that therapist was one who first kind of gave me this epiphany, and also too, I started reading personal development books. I started reading The Four Agreements, which is a great, great, excellent book for this, for shifting your mindset. But when I started to realize, wait a minute, I have power over my thinking and I can control it. It's not just that I'm a victim, like that all of this stuff is happening to me. You know, I never would have called myself a victim, but that's kind of what it was. You know, I felt like I just didn't have control over it. It's like life is happening to me and I can't control that outcome. But what ended up happening is when I finally started going to that therapist, I realized, okay, there are certain things that I can do to boost my mindset, and gratitude was one of them. And I remember when that therapist started telling me about gratitude, I'm like, all right, listen, you don't know my life. You don't know my life. Like, sure, fine, gratitude, that's all well and good, but you don't know my life. Like, how can I have gratitude when I'm dealing with so much, when I've been through so much? Like, what is there to be grateful for? And when I started forcing myself to keep track of it, I started realizing just how much there was to be grateful for. And when I did that, shocking, I remember the first time I ever wrote a gratitude list and just writing down, I'm thankful for that person who held the door open for me when I was walking inside a building. Thankful for, I don't know, just insert random thing here. Thankful for that kind gesture, or like my dad having a great conversation with me. I'm thankful for the fact that I was able to have a great conversation with my best friend. Just whatever it is, right? But when I started doing a gratitude list, it was just incredible how I felt almost instantly better just by writing down some things that I was grateful for. And then I started getting addicted to that feeling. I was like, oh my God. And it wasn't that I was making things up. It's that I was just noticing those things that were happening more. It's very common for those things that are bigger, for those things that are negative or that are overwhelming, to swallow us up and to make us feel like that's the only thing going on. And so for me, even now, even though I'm in a place where I'm way more positive and resilient, I have to still do it now to remind myself, right? And so we can get swallowed up by our day to day, by the busyness of it, by all of the pandemic, by the racism, by all of the stuff that's going on. We can get swallowed up by it. But if we just stop and pause and reflect for a few minutes a day, we can remind ourselves that there is something worth living for. Okay? And this is why it's so important. It's because, it's not about seeing things through rose-colored glasses, but it reminds you that you have a lot already. And when you feel that way, so here are the reasons why this is so important, because, before we jump into why that's so beneficial, here's what tends to happen. From an evolutionary standpoint, so they've actually been doing some research around this, about why a lot of our thoughts tend to be negative on the tape deck in our minds. I don't know if you've noticed that, but that was definitely the case for me for a while, and sometimes still is. And so what they're saying is, they don't know this for sure, but they think a lot of research is presenting this as a theory that we needed that negative self-talk in order to save our lives, right? Like back in the early days of man, for our survival, when we're getting chased around by, the lion, or I don't know, insert whatever predator here, right? that negative self-talk is a fear, your fear talking to you, trying to protect you and keep you safe. But what happens now is that, most of us are not getting chased around by the lion, right? But so we still have a lot of negative self-talk, though, that can be paralyzing. Okay? So when you work on that gratitude, when you do take time to, gratitude is one thing that you can do. Getting help is another. As I just mentioned before, I went for therapy, coaching. That also really helped me a lot. I have coaching right now for my business, and it's phenomenal. Okay? And again, I'd love to support you with a free session with me. If you just, you don't have to sign up for anything, but just if you're curious, learning more about where you might be sabotaging yourself. But here are the ways in which gratitude can be extremely helpful. Okay. Number one, the most obvious, the way that I've been talking about, is a positive mindset. Okay. So the first thing is a positive mindset and good mental health. Okay. So it's not a substitute for meeting with an expert. Okay. But what I started to be able to do was that once I had certain tools from my therapy, I was able to maintain certain things on my own. And now, I actually, meet with a therapist, and I have a business coach because I see the benefit of having that on an ongoing basis, just someone to debrief with, right? But in between time and in those days, most days you're not with a therapist or with a coach. And so in between those days, waking up and feeling good, writing out a gratitude list can be something that is extremely and extraordinarily helpful. Okay. And the other way that it's helpful is because it helps this is another way that we don't always think about, but it helps to restructure the way you look at food and exercise. Okay. So here is how it plays into your health goals deliberately, right? So the positive mindset, the good mental health, the emotional resilience, all of those things are critical for you following through. Right? So if you say you want to exercise, wake up and go for a walk, or you want to wake up and go exercise at 6 a.m., most of us struggle with doing that, right? But working on having a positive mindset and having good mental health are going to make it a lot easier. You won't have to fight with yourself as much, okay? And emotional resiliency that comes from good mental health is, if you don't do it, if you miss that workout, Are you beating yourself up and making it so you don't even want to do it anymore? Or are you getting back on the horse? Okay, so that's where all of that comes from. The second thing, again, I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit, but going back to that second tip is, when we reformat the way that we look at eating and exercise altogether, okay? Gratitude helps us, when we're dealing with healthy eating or healthy living, so often we approach it like it's a chore. It's the thing I have to do to lose weight. It's the thing I have to do to get healthy. It's the thing I have to do because the doctor said, etc., right? And we're not really, and shockingly enough, that's not hugely motivating, right? But we approaching your health goals from a place of gratitude, it's just amazing how it can change your motivation and change the way that you look at everything. Okay? And so, you haven't gotten to this point alone. Your body has helped get you there. And so how can you reframe that negative attitude to one of gratitude? Okay? So anyways, I totally, you can say I can write a whole book about this. I care so deeply about it, and it's changed my whole life, and many folks that I've worked with. And I just want to invite you now, this is a struggle. This is not something that I did alone or that others are doing alone. Most of us need help, okay? And so I'd love to offer you support in any possible way I can. If you're on Facebook, in the description, I have links to, a new online course that I'm doing that really hammers home some of these messages so that you can work on them in the privacy of your home if you're somebody who is self-motivated. Also too, if you're not sure, you can just book a free session with me and I can recommend a couple of things. And also too, if you just want to get back to that, healthy eating and you need some support with your mindset, please, let me know. I'd love to support you with the breakthrough session. You don't have to wallow. You don't have to go at it alone. It's way better when you get help. Trust me. I know what it feels like to live on both sides of this. Okay? I have a 30-day to healthy living program and so many other options available. All right? Okay, folks, with that said, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. See, I just did a sermon on gratitude and healthy living. I feel good. How do you feel? I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. All right? Bye, Instagram. See ya. And bye, Facebook. Have a great, great weekend.